Oh wait, no, those are the same people. Whatever.
Good introduction there, Corbin. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Dankest Dungeon. I am Matt, and this is Corbin. And Corbin's mind is apparently elsewhere. But anyway,
Where's Goon at?
we are here trying to build a Teval Arbiter of Virtue deck. Apparently, some people online are not too happy with the idea of using it as a commander because you lose a bunch of life when you play spells. But we think that it holds some potential.
Oh yeah.
And we can do something sweet with it.
Yeah, on the surface, well, maybe not even the surface, but fundamentally, this card gives you extra mana in the command zone. Obviously, as long as you have cards in your graveyard, but the two strongest things your commander can do is either make mana or draw you cards. Obviously, this does the former, so it is actually better than I think people make it out to be. It also gives you an excuse to build a whack deck, and that's what we're going to do today.
Yep, we've identified Lich
Oh yeah,
as a card that we can play. I suppose I'll add that to the deck first thing.
so we can talk about it.
Yeah, and you may be saying, but wait, Lich has this problem where whenever you lose life, you have to sacrifice permanents, and then you lose the game. But the thing is, that's not how Lich works. You can't read it here because that is illegible. That's how Lich's mastery works. If you would lose life, you have to get rid of cards and stuff like that. But original Lich, if you look at the Oracle text, whenever you dealt damage, sacrifice that many non-token permanents. And Teval does not result in you taking damage, it's just loss of life.
Oh.
Which means we can lich ourselves to 0, and then gain as much life as we would like, and lose as much life as we would like, and draw cards, and hopefully win the game.
Yep. So with Lich, obviously, just drawing cards is very, very, very powerful. The caveat, if you take physical damage, you have to sacrifice permanents, blah, blah, blah. When Lich is removed from the battlefield, you die. So, cool. First thing that we're going to do, so even if you're a coward and you choose not to put Lich in your deck, the rest of the deck will still be functional. Without Lich, it is going to be more of a synergy piece. But our first win condition is going to be repay in kind. Because that card sucks.
Well, it doesn't exactly suck. It wins you the game immediately if your life total is less than 0. And guess what? Lich sets it to 0.
Nope.
So if you cast it with Lich out, everyone's life total will be a 0. And the 7 casting cost may seem a bit steep, but keep in mind, if we can fill our graveyard with things, it's actually just double black.
Yep.
Because Teval gives it...
That's what our commander does. Also, which, even if you don't have Lich out and you're at a 0, through the course of playing the game with Teval out, you will be losing all sorts of life. So even if you put your opponents to, you go to 5... and you play repay in kind, everybody's life total goes to 5, and then you can ensanguinate or something. So that is going to be cool. Speaking of which, nice segue, we're going to be playing Exsanguinate. Normally I don't like this card. However, it does a couple of things that the deck wants to do anyway. It gains you a buttload of life back. It's an X spell, which is very good with our commander as long as we have cards in the graveyard. And with Lich on the field, it'll draw us a bunch of cards. Without Lich on the field, it will gain us a bunch of life so we can keep doing things. So that is cool. As far as the other basis of the deck, we will kind of go... So to keep from being as confusing as possible, which is how I usually build decks, because I know what I'm looking for, we will try to be a little more organized today. So we've given the basis of what the deck is trying to do. Put your life total as low as possible, hit everybody with repay in kind. Another storm spell that we can be on is Tendrils of Agony, because it does the thing regardless of whether we have Lich out or not. And it has Storm, so everybody loves those types of spells, right?
And it gains life, which is relevant.
And it gains
for-
life.
If we don't have a lethal Tendrils, we can still cast it with Lich out and draw a bunch of cards potentially.
Yep. And you might even still be able to kill exactly one player, draw a bunch of cards with Lich out, or just reset your life total so that you can do all sorts of stuff.
So some other things that we're going to be playing, obviously both as a way to recoup our life total and to draw cards off the Lich. Some number of life gain spells that just gain life are going to be necessary. Weather the Storm.
There's another spell with Storm. Let's go.
Is a Storm spell that just gains life. It costs a lot less though, which is pretty neat. With Lich out, it just draws your deck mostly. And without Lich out, you spend 2 life to pay 1 mana to gain some amount of life back from your Teval so you can continue to do stuff. Likewise, and this may not make the cut in the end, but we're going to add it for now. Aether Flux Reservoir.
Yes. Second kill condition. Third kill condition?
Yeah,
second
like
and a
that.
half. Yeah.
If you are just gaining boatloads of life off of your Weather the Storms and Tendrils of Agony and whatnot, this will pay you off for that. Additionally, if you're just casting a bunch of spells, this will give you a bunch of life. It is good with Lich in that the life turns into card draw, and since Lich says that you oh, it still does kill you. Okay, if you draw yourself out.
Yep.
But we'll have some way to deal with that, I guess, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, just kill him.
Yeah, just kill him.
Yeah, easy.
Sure. But it gives us a backup if we're not doing Lich as well. So anyway, we have kind of worked on some of the win conditions. We're going to need a few different things here to fuel our deck. For one, our commander does not really produce mana if we do not have cards in our graveyard. So things that put cards into our graveyard, probably pretty good.
Yep.
I don't know how deep you want to go on that. One card in particular that I think is probably okay is the new so the new set, in theory, when it comes out, has a cycle of cards, or 2 cycles of cards, that cost 2 colorless or a color 3 times to make the various wedges.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sultai one of them anyway, allows you to look at the top 4, put 2 into your hand and 2 into your graveyard. The cool things about this card is that not only is it just a draw spell that fuels our graveyard, but you can cast it without paying colored mana, which means that if you have 6 cards in your graveyard, Teval will allow you to cast it for free. And obviously, if you aren't doing that, or if you've got colored mana sitting around, it will just be cheaper.
Yeah, we can try it.
It does cost 6 life off of Teval, though, so that's kind of something. I do not remember the name of the card, though.
GG. Well, I mean, you can just look up 6 mana spells from Dragonstorm.
Yeah.
Was the Torment of Hellfire countered? Like, how did you lose?
I assume someone cast it that wasn't him.
I lost this morning going for Torment of Hellfire. X
Oh.
equals 18.
Maybe they lost a bunch of life to Teval? Oh.
Are they playing with Devil? That's amazing.
Mm.
Anyway, yeah, mana value equals 6. Yeah, and then set.
There it is. That's
Yeah.
why I couldn't find it.
Got it.
Here, Dragonstorm.
Dragon Fury, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Rakakaklakaklaka's bargain.
Yeah, that one. I'm glad you pronounced that because I would have almost certainly
Did it wrong?
spent time on some of those
words?
letters. Yeah.
Nah. I don't need to do that. Okay. So anyway, going back to building this deck. So Storm deck, as I said before, probably I guess on the live streams, I don't really talk about stuff educationally on the videos. Basis of a Storm deck, make mana so you can draw more cards so you can make mana. So Lich takes care of the draw cards. We'll probably put some more stuff in there later to draw more cards than just Lich.
And we probably want a few ways to tutor out Lich as well.
Correct. Yeah, basically. So because we are, depending on how many creatures we are going to be on at the end result, we can hesitantly put in Mausoleum Secrets right now.
Sure.
Since we want to put junk in our graveyard anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Mausoleum Secrets, partially because I think the card Knot of the Bone would be very good in this deck.
Yes.
Since you get to flash it back, which is good with our graveyard stuff, and the amount of life it gives you is, frankly, pretty good, especially if you're trying to mill yourself out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll keep those in mind for now and just kind of figure out how many creatures we end up with, I suppose.
Yeah. So we can look at basic engine of mana production, which with our commander's a little bit of mana production. We can play, obviously, rituals, dark ritual, cabal ritual. Notably, what's the ritual with spell mastery with Grizzlebrand on it? Dark something?
Dark Petition.
Yes, Dark Petition's actually fairly strong in this deck.
Assuming that we get enough ways to mill ourselves, which we're still going to need to actually get to, but
Yep.
yeah, making this not only 2 mana so that it actually gives you additional mana and tutors, but also getting spell mastery is a lot easier if you're trying to mill yourself.
Yep, 100%. Assuming we have a bunch of Beseech the Queen. I play both. Yeah.
Honestly. So Beseech the Mirror is pretty good. If we have some artifacts flying around, or I don't know that we're going to make a lot of tokens, but an enchantment or something, we might want to modify our mana base to support this a little bit, like throw in a random Alto Whispers or whatever, depending on what that ends up looking like. Because if we do end up bargaining this card, that means that we can go find Lich and cast it for free. So it's basically a second copy of Lich in the deck. Or
Aetherflux Reservoir, or any other 4-drop or less.
Yeah. Whereas Beseech the Queen can tutor for less things, although if we have 4 lands out, it's obviously pretty easy to get Lich. But it has the same thing that the Rakshasa's Bargain has, in that we can just spend all colorless mana for it if our commander is allowing us to delve.
Yep.
Pretty neat. Out of the Tombs.
I mean, maybe.
So potentially, this kind of card that mills you out is pretty good if we're planning to play somewhat longer game. Obviously, it doesn't really do a ton the turn that you play it, and if we are trying to storm out, this will be a dead draw on our storm turn. If we do find that the deck is somewhat slower and we just need more cards in graveyard, then this is probably a pretty good choice.
Yeah.
The same thing with what's the name of the card? We were just talking about it yesterday. The 2-drop.
Yep. Don't know.
Okay.
Sorry.
Some card that mills you for 3 every turn that I literally just put into play today.
You put it into play today.
Yeah.
Scourge Familiar. You should put that in there.
Scourge Familiar was on my short list, yeah. So the cool thing about Scourge Familiar, maybe eventually we'll remember the name of the other card, is that not only does it produce mana on the front side of whenever you discard a card, it gives you black. But if you are looking to put cards into your graveyard and you have a bunch of ways to draw cards, this will put cards into your graveyard when you discard them. And then that is kind of like a 2-for-1. This is basically producing a black and a colorless every time you discard a card instead of just a black, which is neat.
Ripples of Undeath.
Yeah,
That's
that
what you're
card.
talking about.
That card might be good in this deck. Maybe.
Maybe. It is loss of life. So anyway.
Yeah, but we're not trying to lose life.
I mean, kinda. Repay in kind.
Which gets us there most of the time.
True. Gotta have backup plans though. So anyway.
Sure. I'm gonna put in demonic.
Sure.
If I can spell.
Scourge Familiar converts a plethora of cards into mana. Also fills up our graveyard. One card that I think we should at least tentatively play, even though it doesn't do that, is oh man,
Windfall.
Your Curse. No, but yes, Windfall is actually fine. Oh gosh, what is it called?
What does it do?
Prosperous Bloom.
Yeah, Prosperous Bloom is pretty cool. Great Merchant could be okay.
Nope, it's not Prosperous Bloom.
No, it's Cadaverous Bloom.
Yeah, that one.
Prosperous Bloom is the name of the deck. Great Merchant could be okay. It kind of depends on how many permanents we end up with. I guess with Lich specifically, that's already Devotion 6.
Yes, Devotion
And then
6.
7 if you have Teval. So that's probably worth playing, yeah.
Yeah.
And is just kind of like an additional win condition if we end up going that deep. Both the life gain and the life loss are relevant here. The fact that it's a creature is useful for upping our creature count if we end up on that route. We'll stick it in for now. It might get cut later, but I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So if we can highlight Cadaverous Bloom so the kids can see it.
So Cadaverous Bloom is a card that allows you to exile cards from your hand to add black or green. Back in the day, in Mirage Standard, or I guess Vision Standard, because Prosperity didn't come out yet until that point, there was a deck that used this in conjunction with the card Prosperity, which is a blue X spell that has each player draw X cards. And at that point, you dump your whole hand into Prosperity, you draw twice as many cards as you had a minute ago, and then you dump more mana into the next Prosperity, and you can just kind of draw a bunch of cards with that. This inclusion is kind of looking to do the same thing. Obviously, it is a lot more reasonable at 2 mana than at 5, if we can delve into it. It does unfortunately not add additional cards to our graveyard, but it does definitely turn cards into mana, which is pretty strong.
Yeah.
Speaking of putting cards in our graveyard, how Grizzly Salvage are we feeling? Well, first of all, how Malevolent Rumble are we feeling? Because I think Malevolent Rumble is probably pretty good.
Malevolent Rumble is good, and we can also probably play Grizzly Salvage and probably the other one too. We can always cut those later, but having some amount of early game to set up, I think, would be fine.
Yeah, the problem with Grizzly Salvage in particular is that it does only get creatures out of the cards that we're looking at.
Or lands.
Yeah, sure, or lands. Malevolent Rumble, obviously pretty good for various things. Hermit Druid.
Yeah.
Hermit Druid is good if we have a way to win from 0 cards in library. Like if we have a bunch of spells that we can flashback or things that we could do to convert a graveyard full of stuff into winning the game immediately. I don't know if we have that necessarily, and also Hermit Druid's really bad on a Storm turn because it does not have haste.
So yeah, so you would have 2 options at that point. Play the Hermit Druid and pass turn and hope he lives, but like it's Hermit Druid, or Play a bunch of cards in the deck that only exist to give Hermit Druid haste.
The third option, sort of, is that we could put Hermit Druid in the deck without the intention of casting it, and play Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Because Soul Cauldron allows us to grab a Scourge Familiar or a Hermit Druid and turn Teval into it, which is kind of amusing. I don't know if we want to go that deep, though.
I think having Soul Cauldron in the deck, yeah, if I'm looking for graveyard hate, I think
Well, it's more for the combo potential than the graveyard hate, but yeah.
Yeah, you could do that, but I think that turns it into a different deck.
Sure.
Because we're not officially a mill deck. We are trying to put extra cards in our graveyards in order to use our commander more effectively, but the point of it is not to specifically go that route. If that makes sense.
We're using the cards, like, we're trying to turn cards into mana, basically.
Yeah.
And just putting them all into our graveyard doesn't really help us do that. It just puts all the cards in the graveyard.
Because we do want to chain the spells. And yes, it is spooky because Tevel will hurt you, but between some of the ways that we have already in there to gain life and some of the more ways that we'll probably have in the future, it should even out. Speaking of which, no, never mind.
Do we want any dredge spells in here?
Um,
Because they're all, like, pretty bad at storming, but they do kind of fill the graveyard, and if you're doing, like, windfall stuff, they will get you a bunch of cards in graveyard.
yeah, they are bad at storming. However, depending on the spell, like we could probably do like Dark Blast and Life from the Loam at least, because you, especially combined with it's Scourge Familiar.
Yeah.
They kind of do the thing we want it to do. So probably thought of a line with Phyllis or Profane Transfusion. I think it's good. Yeah, Village should probably be in the deck. You're not wrong.
Yeah, we might throw Villas in the deck.
I was already thinking of Reanimate for the Grey Merchant anyway, so that just gives
or the
us an
Scourge
extra.
Familiar for that matter.
So that's a good call.
Villas, if I can remember how to spell it. Villas. I don't know if we want Reanimate specifically, or if we were looking more at Animate Dead.
Yeah, I guess we can do Animate Dead because it saves us.
I mean, we could put both in for now and possibly cut one later.
Profane Transfusion. I don't remember what that card does off the top of my head. Let's share with the class. 2 target players exchange snaps. Yeah, that's pretty funny, and it's a sorcery. I was thinking of Soul Conduit, but yeah, maybe we play that for right now. It's the same thing, except you can.
Yeah. We're gonna have to make sure that we're actually getting enough cards in the graveyard. Speaking of, one of the newest sieges, if I can spell again, only. This one specifically is whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, target player moves 4 cards.
Yep.
It could be you. Let's do that. And then being a Crucible on the other side is like pretty cool.
Yeah, depending on the texture of the game.
If you're grinding out and you don't really want to mill yourself for whatever reason, there's that. But this basically adds 4 colorless mana every time you cast a spell. If you are going that route, it is pulling us farther away from the creature bundle, as it were, because it is only instants and sorceries. But I think that based on what we have so far, we were kind of doing that anyway.
Right. Yeah, that's why I said tentatively Mausoleum Secrets, I don't know how many creatures we're gonna end up having
Yeah.
because I thought about Mana Dorks, but off the top of my head, outside of Blood Artist, I wasn't really thinking of a good life gain engine to sack the creatures after you have them. So,
Ring of no. I meant the other one, Closet Geeks.
oh, Closet, yeah, but that's like one man. I don't know. That
I didn't say it
seems,
was good.
yeah, seems extra.
You only get one life.
I mean, at
out of
that
it,
point,
too.
I'd play Zurin Orb. So, but I actually think we should play Zurin Orb. So,
But it causes 0 life when you cast it.
oh boy.
0 mana. Zonar is pretty funny with specifically Lich. If you are in that grindy game, it is sort of a combo with the Glacierwood Siege. Because you can sack your lands for life and then get it back.
Hmm.
But it's not very much life, and you still only have one land drop a turn, so that's maybe a little
Yeah,
question.
I mean, we can put extra land drops in there, but because we might want to be on high tide anyway, since we are on
Frantic Search?
Frantic Surge.
I don't know if that's enough of a reason, and right now all of our spells are black and green.
Yeah, that's true. Never mind.
Okay,
Bubbling Muck though. Ooh.
sure. The cool thing about Bubbling Muck too is that you can play Urborg with it, and Urborg's pretty neat.
Glimpse the unthinkable for 10 colorless mana.
So you mill yourself, you spend 2 mana and you mill yourself for
Oh,
10.
got it. No. So
Oh,
maybe,
I don't.
hard maybe.
Hard maybe.
The thing about Glimpse the Unthinkable, so again, if you're trying to make a resilient deck, having pieces that only do one thing is a little suboptimal because it reduces the flexibility of your overall gameplay. So if you need, like, let's say Glimpse the Unthinkable was what's the stupid card? So if we compare Glimpse the Unthinkable to Drown in the Lock, yes, I know Drown in the Lock doesn't mill you, but Glimpse the Unthinkable only does one thing. Now, it does the one thing very well, but the one thing is, I don't think where the deck needs to be right now.
Yeah, the problem with that, I guess, in particular, is that while it is kind of a better Dark Ritual if you're looking for mana, like sheer amounts of mana, anything that we have in the deck that can mill us will give us colorless mana, where colored mana is kind of at a premium. Also, Glimpse the Unthinkable doesn't do anything if we don't have our commander in play, and sometimes we are going to need to try to win the game without our 5 mana commander in play.
Yeah.
Which, like, we are building the deck around the commander, and obviously we have some cards that we'd probably not be playing if we weren't playing this specific commander, but it's just a little too narrow. Like, it's really good if you're going off and you need more colorless mana, specifically,
Right.
and you have Teval out, and the rest of the time it just kind of doesn't do anything.
Yeah. It's a sorcerer at instant.
It is a sorcery, so you
Yeah.
can't even get people's top deck tutors with it.
Gross.
Speaking of top deck tutors, do we want any of the 4 of those? 5 of those that we can play?
I think Mystical Tutor is fine for right now. I'm hesitant to put some of the other ones in right now just because, oh no, that's a game changer too. Gross.
We can cut game changes later if we feel like that's an important thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, I guess put in the tutors, and then we'll see where we are.
Do we care about worldly, personal, imperial seal?
Imperial Seal, worldly and personal. We don't have a sorcery that matters super much. And worldly, like, our creatures don't matter that much at the moment, in my opinion.
Sure. The cool. Well, do we want to play Entomb? Is Entomb good?
I don't think Entomb is good at the moment because, like,
it gets us a Dredger in our graveyard mostly, and
oh sure, yeah, it can put Life
if we
Alone
have
in there.
Reanimate or Animate Dead, it is pretty good with those as well.
Yeah, I think we can put it in the considering pile and then come back to it depending on what the rest of the deck
Okay,
looks
we'll
like.
ignore it and never look back.
Okay. Anyway, the other thing,
Do we want like turnabout? We probably want turnabout.
yeah, we probably want Turnabout, and we probably want to be on Rude Awakening because that allows us to make more manias, especially with Bubbling Bug. Now, most notably, Bubbling Bug is a sorcery, so we could potentially do Personal Tutor instead of like Vampiric Tutor or something, depending on what the game changers look like.
Sure.
In theory, we would try to make this a bracket 3 deck, because that's generally what we play on the channel. Obviously, like we've said in multiple of these deck techs, like season the taste. If you want to play more powerful cards, play more powerful cards. That's why we tend to have a considering pile in all these decks as well for you guys. But
Yeah, and also like I don't know. We'll see if it works at this power level, and if it doesn't, take it up a notch. And if it,
yeah,
know.
that's also true.
and if it still doesn't work, then I don't know. Don't
It's
build
just
it.
bad, I guess.
Yeah, not that that's ever happened before. Mana ramp.
Yes.
Soul ring.
Yep. So talismans are fairly good with our commander because they could just be free.
Yeah.
So arcane signet, I mean, basically all the signets, or yeah, that one, all the talismans. Felwar Stone, I would play. I would be hesitant to play the thingies though.
Okay. Mana vault's a game changer.
Mana Vault is a game changer. Everflowing Chalice is pretty funny with our commander.
It is, but it kind of just banks the mana for later because it doesn't color fix.
That is true.
And
Yeah,
you're turning
that's
2
fair.
colorless mana into 1.
I agree with that. That's fair.
Yeah, it is. I also thought about that. I'm like, oh, multi-kicker, it's great, but yeah, in a storm turn, it just halves your mana instead. Notably, these do hurt you, but you can probably take 1 with your Lich out. So
Yeah.
sacrifice itself probably or something.
Druid. Not Druid's repository. That's man. Druid class? Yeah, I think that's it.
The
I
one that
think-
plays lands off the top.
Is that what that does? I thought it was the one that gains you a life, like landfall gain a life, and then you can level it up to play an extra land. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I'd play that. Because the other thing we can do, so if we play some Explorer Flex like that, one, it works under Lich. 2, it helps mitigate some of the life loss that we're dealing with. And 3, it allows us to play
Urborg during our storm turn.
Urborg during our storm turn. It also works with cards like the card I don't like.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
That is true.
Arcane Denial.
No, the 4 mana ramp spell that gets forests.
Oh,
Chat, help.
it's definitely from Nemesis.
Yeah, what is that stupid
Why can't I
spell
remember
called?
card names today? Dang.
Too much magic.
I guess I was playing Magic basically all day today, so that doesn't help any.
Starts with an S, but I don't remember.
Oh, Sky Shroud.
Yeah,
Reclamation.
Sky Shroud Claim. It is not Reclamation, I
Yeah,
promise you.
Claim. You're right.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks, sir. So yeah, so Cloud.
Sky Shroud Claim is a mana ritual in this deck if you
Yep.
have sufficient cards in graveyard.
Which will help with the thing
Yeah,
and
make
blah
your
blah blah.
turnabouts better and all that.
So same thing with
Do we want to play Eternal Witness? We definitely want to play Regrowth.
we definitely want to play Regrowth. I mean, we could play Eternal Witness for now and see how we can cut it. I'm not really sold on the creature thing, especially since
Yeah.
looking at what we have right now, Professor Onyx would be hilarious.
Kind of, sort of. Yeah, it's a lot harder to justify things with double or triple colored pips anyway.
Well, black, since we're skewed towards black.
Yeah, that's a little
gonna
bit
be
easier, but
yeah.
Eternal Witness I'll put into considering.
Yeah, that's fair. So, Professor Onyx.
Sure.
It's a tendrils. Literally every time you
No,
cast
no,
this
I get
spell.
it. You don't have to convince me. We didn't fight about it. We could also be on Witherbloom Apprentice.
We could, yeah, that wouldn't be the worst. It is a smaller Professor Onyx, so no, yeah, okay. So, well, I was gonna say before chat says anything, we're not gonna play Chain of Smog, but it's probably just correct to play Chain of Smog. If you're on both Professor Onyx and Witherbloom Apprentice, what is the justification for not doing it?
It's a bad card.
Well, so yes. However,
it does let you get cards into your graveyard.
Yes.
I get what you're going.
Oh my gosh.
I understand what you're
So
doing.
we could
Do we want
do some
Clarion
outplays.
Winds and stuff?
Ooh, Talarian Winds is an interesting call. I would say for now, yeah. We can always cut it. So the interesting thing about Talarian Winds is as we put more cards in our hand, that will then turn those cards that we don't care about, specifically lands, into better cards / fill our graveyard. So any sort of wheel effect like that would be pretty powerful. Yeah, buddy, you read my mind.
Yeah, I knew where you're going. Whispering Madness is another windfall if you squint
Real hard.
Yeah. I mean, it's only one more mana, but still.
Notion Thief might be something to put in the back of our heads. I'm not really sold on it right now, but since we have
Same.
at least 2 wills, Thief wouldn't be the worst.
Sure, we can play Bowmasters. We don't really have any interaction at the moment.
We could play Bowmasters, yeah. Okay, so I think sufficiently our engine is set for the most part. We're gonna have some stuff we can add later.
We're
But
gonna need a lot more ways to put cards in our graveyard, I think. But for
yes. So for now, I would, yeah, I suppose. So chaining spells in general is the way to put cards in our graveyard. So
I'm trying to remember card. Go.
Okay.
Continue on.
Chaining spells in general will just put those cards in your graveyard. So if you're going Dark Ritual into some other stuff, blah blah blah, you will end up with 3 or 4 cards in your graveyard through the end of that, which should not be underestimated because Teval is scary in my opinion because even if he's only reducing the amount of mana for your spells by 1 or maybe 0, the fact that he has you don't have to put in all of the stuff into an X spell or something like that. So being able to just play the cards and do the thing while he's sitting there sucking the soul out of you, and then he randomly is just like, hey, you drew into a 6-drop, I can help with that, and it never does anything else for the rest of the game, I think it's fine. Because again, the point is in most cases, is just to get your life total low so you can slam Repay in Kind or something like that. So, expecting him to do magical stuff all the time, I think is a little
Yeah.
like that's not what the like
We're
he's helping the deck. The deck is not there for
sure
him.
we're built to utilize the ability to delve stuff, but we do not require it,
Yeah.
hopefully.
And so
Hopefully.
like hopefully if we do this correctly, won't even need to cast this bro all the time. So
Yeah.
there's that too.
Platinum Imperium works really weird with replacement effects and gaining life. I'm pretty certain it does not work with Lich. We could try to use Platinum Angel for a similar effect, but I don't know that that's necessarily worth slotting in. 'Cause it doesn't really advance our game plan in any way other than like, oh, now I'm not dead to my own spells or
Yeah.
something. It is pretty fun with repaying kind for reasons similar to Lich itself, but I don't know.
That is true. Having a Platinum Angel-esque effect wouldn't necessarily be the worst in case Lich isn't out. We can not care about having our commander on the field, but
Put it in for now. Uh, Credit to Brent for that one. He's with us in spirit. Instead, he's got something else to do, though.
RIP.
Yeah.
One thing, notably, so interaction. Uh, with specifically Lich, that's fine. Yeah, that mills 2 cards, then destroy. Yeah, Quackface is pretty good. Um, the last Lich deck that I theory crafted that had blue in it, playing Stifles is actually fairly good in a Lich strategy, though we're not playing all the Liches, so it's not super necessary. I would play at least Trickbind, and the reason for that is if Lich does get removed, you will have a lose the game trigger on the stack. Now, granted, your life total is going to be 0,
Which will automatically kill you.
which will automatically kill you most of the time. But if you can,
Gain a bunch of life in response.
yeah, that actually won't work. But
Well, in response to them targeting you, oh yeah, it won't work.
no, it won't work.
Okay.
So trick bind is there for stifling a lich trigger if you take damage.
Sure.
Stunning reversal is
Does
there
everything, yeah.
to stop you from dying to lich.
Stunning reversal, like. So the reason that I don't particularly like Trick Bind or Stunning Reversal in this deck is the fact that we are not actually all in on Lich, and we're not trying to play Lich and pass. Like, if we're playing Lich, we're going off and we're winning the game, unless something weird happens.
I mean, that's fair.
And I don't think we want to plan for the case in which someone's like, haha, I've got this lightning bolt. And if we are looking for that, I'd rather be playing
like a counterspell.
like a counterspell.
Yeah. I agree. I think we can take out Trick Bind. I do like Stunning Reversal still, just because it allows you to do something with your command. Like if your commander's out, Lich isn't out, and you could make a play that would put you to 0 with Stunning Reversal, and then not, and then repay in kind or something. Except if you do, you'd have to Stunning Reversal.
You'd have to be
go
playing
to
a spell.
5, and then go to
Yeah, you'd have to be playing some kind of a spell that costs 5 or more mana, and then have that kill you, but then you play Stunning Reversal in response, and you need to have 5 or more life.
well, yeah. So
It seems a little narrow.
correct. Can we put it in the considering pile though, so people at least know that card exists?
Fine. I mean, in that particular case, you can, like, if you want to play Trick Bind, that is a good reason to play Trick Bind.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, that does stop the commander's ability.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can use it to stop your own stuff.
yeah, that's fair. Repay in kind is the best.
Good is,
Good is real strong, sir. Real strong.
it's very good if you have Lich in play, and the rest of the time, we'll see.
Yeah. Repay in kind, like Matt said, is a win condition when your life total is 0, so Lich, or it shortens the amount of time you need for some of your spells like Tendrils of Agony or Witherbloom Apprentice, Grey Merchant. Because if you are losing all this life because of your commander, you can easily get to 10 life or less. Play Replay in kind or play like
Honestly, you can do it from 20 because it
because it domes you for 7.
7.
Yep. So you can do something like that. It gets pretty nutty because of how the commander works. You lose the life with the spell on the stack. The spell resolves. So putting all your opponents to like 15 or less with one spell is real crazy. And when you follow it up with like a Grey Merchant. So is it good? Is it fine in this deck? Probably.
Yeah, we'll see. It seems like a reasonable game plan, and it is just kind of a 2-card combo with our commander of sorts.
It also gives some love to trash bulk rares from Rise of the Eldrazi. So that's what we're about here at this channel.
Yeah, specifically that, nothing else.
Yes, specifically.
We only care about bulk rares if they're from
Rise of the Eldrazi. Okay, anyway. So looking at some more interaction and other spells that we can play. So Delve. Delve is pretty good for chopping off colorless costs. So if we look at certain spells like Overload, Cyclonic Rift. But if we do a search for spells with Overload, we can see what options we have there.
Yeah, the cool thing with Overload, or rather the cool thing with Delve, is that unlike giving something flashback or giving something like you can pay this without paying its mana cost or things like that, any additional costs or alternate costs that you pay on the spell still work because Delve simply changes the way that you pay for it. So you can overload a Cyclonic Rift for a single blue mana if you have 6 extra cards in your graveyard. And you only lose 2 life because it's still 2 CMC on the stack.
No, these spells are garbage.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Wasn't sure.
Other things that we can do, Spree.
Yeah.
Spree is a thing. I don't know if any of these are good, but they are...
Insatiable Avarice is pretty...
Yeah, it's like another Vampire Tutor, I suppose.
Oh. For 1 mana.
Yeah. I don't know how often we're going to do that because of the triple black requirement, but sometimes could happen. This is a 3 mana Entomb, but we're already not playing Entomb.
Yeah.
I don't know that the rest of these are particularly worth it.
Shifting Grip can give somebody Teval and then you take their jump out. 3 steps ahead is actually pretty interesting. Because it is a counter spell, or you can spree it to make a copy of like a Grey Merchant or Witherbloom Apprentice or something.
Yeah, and it just draws cards during your storm turn.
So I like that card.
Yeah,
but
discards card, which is reasonable.
Smuggler's Surprise also mills you.
It does,
but it doesn't do anything else. So
well,
never
it
mind.
gets cards back.
Yeah, creatures, but we're only on like 3 creatures
And lands.
right now.
Weren't we just about
Oh
this,
boy,
like,
we are about that land life. Let's go.
Weren't we just talking about Grizzly Salvage? I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we were just talking about Grizzly
Yeah,
Salvage.
yeah. I didn't see land. Calm down. Calm down.
You can protect your commander.
Yes.
We'll probably cut it later, but I'll put it in
Yeah.
there. Kicker is another thing that we can do. Kicker has a long and varied history, so it's going to have a lot of cards that are not very good, but some of them might be okay.
Yeah, I mean, if we were playing like limited, some of these would be good, like that Blood Chief card.
There are a lot of cards that are much better in limited. Yes, that is true.
Or some sort of 1v1 format. But
Hypnotic Cloud.
oh, I guess the inscriptions aren't bad. What does the blue one do? Return up to blah blah blah, draw 2 cards, target. So for 5 cards and triple blue, nice. Target opponent,
We can
return
make an
target
XX
creature,
for some reason.
destroy target. Yeah, that's not good.
That's probably not worth it, no. Marsh Casualties. The card's pretty cool. We're not playing it, though. Yeah, I don't know. Probe is very cool. I do like the card. I do not think we're playing it, though. Especially because the kicker is a whole... You get to discard, or target opponent discards 2 cards. Runner's Vortex is a reasonable removal spell.
Right.
I don't know that it's worth putting in just because we can make it cheaper with Delve.
Nah. Right.
Sowing Mega Spawn is destroying Legacy right now. Terra Sunder is fine, but we already don't have other things in. Gaming Skydiver is kind of a ritual.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Sorta.
You can
Still
steal other
somebody's-
people's rocks,
yeah.
except that they'll be tapped, so I don't know that that's useful. Yeah, gonna go with no.
Oh,
Kicker.
looks good. All right.
We tried, though.
Yeah, if we were on some token stuff, we could play Earthcraft, but I don't think we should be on that right now, so it's fine.
What was the other thing? There was one more.
Buyback?
Buyback's an interesting one. Capsize is funny. I don't think it really helps us. Evankar's Justice is like a really bad Tendrils.
Demonic Collusion.
Demonic Collusion is just a
Demonic Tutor.
demonic tutor.
She can keep doing.
Yeah, if you got extra cards in hand.
Yeah.
I would be a little surprised if there's anything in here worth putting in. I guess Whispers, no, that costs 1 million mana to buy back.
Yeah. Oh. No.
Being cheaper is not good enough.
Correct.
Cleave, that was it. I don't think there's anything good in Cleave either, but we might as well look.
Yeah.
I mean, dig up is neat, but we only reduce it by a whole 1, so that's probably not worth it. Alchemist Retrieval could be okay, because it's just a reasonable removal spell.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's-
Retrieval's fine, but
I don't know that it's any better than, like, Echoing Truth or whatever.
yeah, or like Assassin's Trophy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, not so much. Okay, we tried.
Yeah, we did. All right. So anyway, we started blasting. So the extra cost spells. Oh, dang. That's crazy. You were stroking out on the keyboard and I didn't actually understand what you were talking
Up the
about.
Beanstalk is a reasonable card. We're not really trying to go that deep on expensive spells. Like, maybe we will, but I don't know that
What do we have?
we really want
What
to.
is it? 5 or more?
Yeah.
5, 8, 10,
Like,
11, 12.
we're not trying
Plus our
to kill
commander.
ourselves with our commander. We do happen to have a few expensive spells in the deck, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's really a reliable card for card advantage.
Yeah, I mean, at that point,
It does cycle, but I don't know.
yeah. I mean, Ristic Study is probably just better at that point, but Ristic Study is better than a lot of stuff, and we're probably not playing that trash. So anyway,
It's probably better than a lot of stuff, therefore trash. Understood.
yeah. Hashtag hipster model.
Mm.
We can go back to type. I was just looking for
I don't really care what
up
view it's
the
in right now.
up the beanstalk purposes. So we should probably play some counter spells. Preferably 1 pip counter spells. So I'm not looking to play
Yeah.
actual counter spell.
Unlike the other thing, pitch spells are generally very bad with your commander. So
Yeah,
Force of Will and Force of Negation. While great cards are going to cost you 6 and 3 life, respectively.
correct.
Delay, however, will not. It will cost you 2,
No.
which is neat.
Yeah, delay is good. I mean, honestly, we can probably play.
That's an X spell.
You're silly. We can probably play. I mean, Urtai's meddling would be funny.
It is a funny card. It is, however, an X spell. So, like, that and, like, Logic Knot and things are probably not really where we want to be.
Yeah, because at that point you'd probably just play Spellburst.
Yeah.
So
Offer You
yeah,
Can't
Offer
Refuse
You
is
Can't
pretty good.
Refuse.
You can use it on your own spells if you want to. Swan Song is a Swan Song. Flusterstorm. Not only is good on your storm turn, but helps protect you against other people's Flusterstorms. Or, you know, stop them from winning, depending on what they're doing.
And also, notably, you can Flusterstorm one of your own spells with Liliana or the other dude out, Witherbloom Apprentice, to actually just kill people. So having another storm spell to trigger Magecraft is pretty good. Speaking of which, we should probably be on what's his face,
Yeah, for sure.
Archmage Emeritus.
Yeah, double blue is not really what we're doing, but we can try to fit him in there. I guess we're already on turnabout.
Yeah,
4 mana, so
I think prioritizing black blue duels is gonna be fine. Like
I
we're
would say black green at this point, but yeah, maybe. I guess maybe we'll add more blue. Continue to add blue.
yeah, I see more blue pips than green pips, but maybe I'm wrong.
The math says that we do have more blue. You're correct.
Okay, so anyway,
Do we want to play exploration?
yeah, for now I think it's fine. Because it is just technically a ritual as we are drawing cards, so we play an early game for the thing. So, bu- 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 bu-
We still in interaction. We probably want to interact like a little bit more than what we're doing right now.
that is correct. So, Abrupt Decay, Assassin Trophy, probably fine. Drown in the Lock is probably a fine spell. Unless instead of Drown, if we want to play... well, we're playing a non-zero mono Windfall effect, so Drown in the Lock is probably better than whatever Grasp. 2 mana, destroys creature, lose 2 life, whatever that thing is.
Oh, in front grass?
Yeah, in front
Yeah,
of Grasp.
probably.
It ties your mana up a little more, but I think that is fine.
Yeah, plus it's like a counter spell if you need it to be.
Yeah. We do not believe in 3-drops here at the Dankest Dungeon.
They're overrated. I don't think we want Yawgmoth's Will. It does not really work with the delving that we're trying to do.
We should be on. Yeah, I wouldn't play Yawgmoth's Will, but that Crucible of Worlds room is probably fine.
I suppose.
Because it just lets you do
The thing is, like, as a Crucible of Worlds, it is Crucible of Worlds, and we A, have one, and B, I'm not sure that we even want the first one if it didn't do the other thing.
Do we have a Crucible of Worlds?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, that thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
But also you cannot delve to unlock the second room
Correct.
in a room.
That is correct.
And if we are playing it as a 2-mana Yawgmoth's Will, we should just play the actual Yawgmoth's Will.
Yeah.
And I don't think we want to do that either.
That's fair. What was I going to say before?
We play Eye of the Storm. We do have the potential, you see, to cast a bunch of really stupid, expensive cards if we want to. Assuming that we mill ourselves enough, which I'm still not convinced that we're doing. But if we do, then we start being able to do things like loop regrowth and stuff. I don't know if like Eye of the Storm specifically, but what's the other? The one that copies all your spells. There's one, right?
Yeah. The 7-mana one. From Hour of Devastation or whatever.
Yeah, it's only got a single blue pip too, if I remember correctly.
You are not. Ooh. Jazzy Jaff is pretty strong. Scroll back up. Her. Jadzy.
Oh, Jadzy, yeah.
Because you see, you can just
Delve,
exile.
yeah.
Yes.
I think the backside mills you too, right? No.
No, it
Still good
just
though.
drop some stuff. Yeah, for instance in sorceries, we will probably play that dude once we get done finding this swarm intelligence. Did it?
Yes. We were quite nearly there as well.
Yeah.
You're reading Storm
Storm
Saruman?
yeah, that
Not
card's
good.
bad. Yeah.
I could have told you that. I mean, I did tell you that.
Yeah, reduce. So playing a cost reducer, it does draw you cards. So the drawing the cards is the important thing. The fact that it reduces your spells doesn't really matter because your commander does that at the same mana cost. So yeah, Archmage of Runes. It does reduce the amount of cards you need to delve for instant and sorceries. But again, drawing the physical cards is what we care about, not the other stuff, which is fine.
It is an honorable mention.
Yeah.
I do like the card. I think that if we were not trying to draw cards with Lich or
Specifically Lich. What?
let's add an 8-drop and a 7-drop to our deck.
Yes. We're here.
Do you want to play Show and Tell?
No. Isn't there... What's the fixed Show and Tell? Wasn't there a fixed Show and Tell? No? Okay. Maybe I'm thinking about something
Define
else.
fixed, I guess, because there's a lot of things that let you put permanents into play, but... You're talking about Eureka?
No. I think I was talking about another 7-drop, so we're just gonna ignore that.
Okay,
So...
I accept.
the world soul or a song of the world soul or whatever. That's the saga.
Populate one?
No, it's this. Oh no, song of the world soul is the world spell
Yeah.
The saga.
Okay.
allows you to show and tell twice for
Nice.
non-saga permanents, but it also costs 7 mana.
Yeah, and we're also not playing it.
Yeah, you're good. I mean, it has read ahead, so you could just pay 7 mana to put 2 things into play.
Sure.
But I don't think we have that many permanent spells where that matters.
No.
Um,
Let's add lands, because we are reaching the point where we are not going to have
correct.
room for any of this stuff.
So I guess Command Tower before everybody forgets, and Urborg.
You can do it. I got impatient. Urborg. Tomb of Yorgmorth. I believe that it would be a good idea to play.
Football golfers. I
Hmm,
mean, it actually wouldn't be the worst idea, but we also
Wouldn't be
are
the
playing
worst
a lot
idea.
of.
So I was kind of thinking about Urza's Cave because it searches
sure.
up Urborg.
Yeah, I like her as a cave.
Ancient Cellar Spawn does not help us because we don't really want to be playing a lot of expensive spells. I mean, it pings them for like 1 or 2 or whatever when we cast our Animate Deads or what have you, but
Otawara.
eh.
I mean, Taganuma
Yeah,
also just
I was
straight
getting there.
knows you. Okay.
Numa, do we want Delve land?
What?
I mean, not Delve, Dredge land.
Oh, Dakmar Salvage?
Yeah.
Dakmar Salvage is funny with specifically a discard outlet.
Sure, we'll add it in.
So, we probably should play another discard outlet. I don't know what you. I think it's. Yeah.
I'm gonna add a bunch of fetches.
Yeah. That helps with the cards in our graveyard. Woo! Prismatic this stuff.
Yeah.
I was gonna say just do a search for swamps, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I guess we
Swamp
could do
lands,
that.
yeah. Because I do think we should
I guess we don't
play.
necessarily need Hedge Maze.
Yeah, we probably don't need hedge maze, but I do think. Not contaminated. I would play fetid pools because it just adds a card to your graveyard. You can't delve it, but it's not the worst. Yeah, Sunken Hollow is fine. Underground Mortuary, Watered Grave. The Triome is probably fine to play as well.
Sure. I guess it's okay. We can't really delve the cycle cost, but it's fine. I don't know, we've got 2 other
When you have
we can
a
play tap lands.
Yeah, and when you have an abundance of mana, it just cycles to draw you another card. Add something to your graveyard.
Sure, which is 1 mana. So we spend 3 mana for 1 mana and a card.
Yeah. Like one
So it's
mana and a
basically
card is
just a
fine.
2 mana cycling.
Yeah, it's fine.
Eh, fine, whatever.
So, I mean, it is a monetary advantage, but it's an advantage nonetheless. And monetary is not the word I wanted to. So whatever, minute I think is probably it. Anyway,
School.
that one. Do you have the other Teval in your deck? Nah, because he's garbage. Just
I
kidding.
just played him this morning. Look forward to next week or something on the channel. You'll get to see me play
Oh
it.
my gosh. Is the Sultan Precon backup command? Oh yeah, we know. It's fine. We're not on a bunch of creatures right now. If
It doesn't care about creatures. It only cares about cards leaving your graveyard. The
I
thing
know,
is,
but it
we don't
makes
care
the
about
creatures.
zombies.
Yeah, that's what I meant. We don't care about having the excess creatures. If we had something like if we were gonna use that as an so a route that you can go with this deck because you are doing the thing with this. You could play the other Teval. You can play Crypt, whatever. The thing that makes bats when stuff leaves your graveyard.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of things.
Tormod. Like there's a bunch of things that trigger and make creatures when things leave your graveyard, which you can make creatures. You can play Altar of Dementia to mill yourself more, to get more stuff, to delve and things of that nature. We ain't doing any of that, so that is we did not get our hands on the precons yet.
Yeah, we are not nearly cool enough for that.
Correct. But maybe in a year or so, we'll see.
Yeah. Jason should let me blow up more people's lands so I can get more viral videos of me blowing up people's lands.
Correct. Good game changer. What?
Yeah.
I'm only blowing up one land at a time.
Only one person's land at a time. I only tap 7 Druids to take one person's land at a time. I'm just saying. Anyway, where are we? Lands, yeah. We should probably add some number of basics.
Yes. I would, because I don't think we need to be on
Tainted
Pet, so that doesn't really matter.
Let's add one of these, and like 5 swamps.
Yeah. There's a couple swamps. Like maybe we'll add some
swamps,
MDFCs. I would do 3 swamps for now.
I already added MDFCs.
Oh,
Some of
okay.
them anyway.
Oh yeah, you did. Look at that, 31 lands.
Come on. Swamp 3. There they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we necessarily need
35.
both of the black uncommons, but they both seem like reasonable cards. Singing to Stupor and Seagate Restoration are just like good cards, and Seagate, especially if we happen to have triple blue at the time, allows us to do some pretty cool stuff with Delve.
Right.
Agree.
We should also. Oh, we're at 101. That's fine.
If you have other things we should add, we can cut things.
Yeah, I know.
So what we're trying to do with the deck is there is this card from Alpha called Lich. And it causes you to have 0 life. Oh no! And if you would be dealt damage, you sacrifice a bunch of permanents. But it doesn't say lose life, which is very key when your commander causes you to lose life. So you can play Lich, and then you can play all the spells you want. And if you play a bunch of spells, Lich doesn't care that you end up going to -12 or whatever. So we're going to storm out, and when we're storming out, we can play cards like Weather the Storm to draw cards off of our Lich.
So many cards.
And if we don't have Lich out, it will at least keep us alive from our commander and all that. Which, by the way, our commander is lifelink, so we'll draw 6 cards if we hit someone with Lich out, which is pretty cool too. But the idea is basically Storm. We're going to play Storm, and if we can throw a Haymaker out or whatever, then that's like pretty cool. If we can't, maybe we end up going for what was it, Repaying Kind?
Yeah, Repaying Kind.
Repaying Kind, which will make everyone else's life total also in the garbage. And with Lich out, that just wins the game. And without Lich out, maybe they're all at 3, and then you, I don't know, hit someone to get your life back, and then play Grey Merchant, and everyone's dead.
Okay. But yeah, so we're pretty much done with the, like, we've got the basics of the deck. So now we can make some small fine-tuning based on everything we have here and clearly define what we're trying to do. I mean, I cut Platinum Angel before I cut Xehanort, but like, yeah, you got that. So, like Matt said, we already have our game plan defined. Do some things, draw some cards with like Lich, or maybe stack some Windfall effects. Discard cards to Cadaverous Bloom and
Exile.
Scourge from Mallet. Yeah, discard cards to Scourge Familiar, exile cards to Cadaver's Bloom to make a bunch of mana, to play more cards, slam down Lich if we are on that line of play, and then ways to gain life, like Professor Onyx, Weather the Storm, and such, to put more cards in our hand, kill people with potentially Aetherflux Reservoir if we don't have Lich out. If we do have Lich, Aetherflux just draws us a bunch of cards whenever we cast a spell, which is great. So it's going to be real easy to deck yourself. Which maybe we should play Claws of Gix to be able to kill permanents like Aetherflux Reservoir if we're on physical Lich. Otherwise, we will die.
That is true. That would happen.
So, I mean, we could do Claws of Gix instead of
is
Zero
like
and
a
Orb.
little risky in that, but maybe.
Why?
Because if we have 12 cards in deck and we just drew a Claws of Gix and we've played 13 spells this turn, we will die before we can.
Oh, yeah. That's fair. But I think...
I mean, that's true of anything that we have, but
yeah.
I don't know that there's much that we can do about that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, if you get that far, you probably should have did a different line of play, but in my opinion.
Maybe. Can you auto warrior and stuff?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so you could bounce it with that if you have that
Or
available.
Besage you it. So,
Besage is only
oh yeah,
opponents.
that is true. Recycle. So, recycle and by extension, null perfusion is fine. The issue with them is so if we weren't on Lich, I would say you can replace Lich with one of those cards. But we're on Lich, so we're not playing those cards. For a couple reasons. One, you don't want to overload your deck with a bunch of high mana value stuff because of your commander. It's just going to dome you.
We already did.
Which we kind of did already, but it's fine. We're cutting. We already cut the whatever her name is, and I guess you could like Swarm Intelligence. Or Swarm Intelligence is so good though.
It's very funny if we can get it to work.
Seagate Restoration doesn't have to be played, so it's fine.
I mean, that's true of any card in your deck. You don't have to play any of the cards. But
Correct. Villas.
it's pretty cool.
I mean, Beseech the Queen, we could also cut, but it's fine.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know, let's try fishing.
hold on. Before we do that, we need to find a cut for crop rotation.
Okay.
Maybe it's Smuggler's Surprise, because, like, screw that card.
Sure, that's reasonable. Yeah, I'm
Is
not.
Heroic Intervention all permanents?
Yeah.
That might be something to look into in case somebody tries to. Oh, the other card. We should be on Nature's Claim too. Also,
Yes.
don't know what to cut for that.
We have plenty of bad cards in deck, so oh god, if only
Recycle is the same thing as Null Perfusion. Those are the same card, except one's
Where is
black and one's green.
Where did you see that?
What about Recycle?
Yeah, but where does he say no perfusion?
No, I said No Perfusion.
Yeah, that was after he.
Oh, yeah, I'm reading the same thing twice. Got it. Never mind. I'm stroking. It's fine.
Corbyn is lost in time.
I apparently have...
How exsanguinate do we actually want to be? I don't think we need it.
No, because we added Onyx and the other thing. I don't think we need it either.
Okay. This is a sample hand.
The best. Deal another hand, because we're not keeping that.
This is a sample hand.
Wow, this deck hates us. Also, Chan, maybe it's telling us to cut Chan.
I guess maybe. This one doesn't have any lands. This one's got a demonic tutor, I guess. I don't know. I don't think we have enough ramp, just like straight up ramp.
Yeah.
Because our commander costs 5.
Go back to type real quick. Pretty please. Thanks. All right, so
Do we want like Ancient Tomb? Is that a game changer?
I believe Ancient Doom is a game changer. We can play it and then like cut something later.
We already have 4 game changers, so.
So I do like 3 visits in Nature's Lore.
Sure, those are reasonable.
Not only are they sorceries, but we could delve them to just make it a 1-for-1 thing.
Yeah, convert green into any other kind of.
Yeah, color, which is nice. Need more land. Son, we already have 34. I think
In a storm deck, you need less land,
Yeah.
or you want less land. It is true that we are like playing exploration in the bubbling muck, which wants you to have a lot of lands in play, but that's what the Nature's Lore is for, potentially, and the Life from Loam is also pretty good at getting you lands.
I also think this is a fine deck for Cultivate or Kadama's Reach. I don't care which one, but the ability. So yeah, it's at 3, and it puts the land into play tapped. So getting 2/5 mana is the choke point, and putting an extra land in your hand is actually pretty powerful, especially if we're looking at some of these discard, like specifically Scourge Familiar,
Sure.
whatever. It's got synergy with that too. I do not think it's the worst inclusion. I wouldn't play both though. I would only play like one extra one, but that should help. Between that and the talismans, we should be fine as far as ramp goes. Unless there's a better 2 to 3 drop spell.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish ramp spells.
Yeah.
Not counting like Dark Ritual and things.
Yeah. Like maybe Cultivate's better than Grizzly Salvage, but Grizzly Salvage mills us. So,
Yeah, I don't know that we have enough mill, just in general.
yeah.
You're already 3 steps ahead.
Oh, the or Tolarian wins, one of the two.
Valerian Winds is actually pretty good, I think.
Okay. One thing that I was thinking of is playing one of the enchantments. There's like a couple of them that mill you when you draw cards. So like there's the Teferi one, and then there's Jace's Erasure.
Most of those are opponent, but maybe.
I thought Jace's Erasure was target player, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh boy, Ether Siphon, we did it.
Yeah, but that's opponents and things.
Jace's Erasure is target player.
It is target player. It is only 1 card though.
Oh, that's gross. Is the Teferi one? Teferi's tutelage. That's what I was thinking of. Is that opponent?
Target opponent. This one's opponents. You okay over there?
No, I'm dying.
We could play Mesmeric Orb because it works with Turnabout.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Okay.
I mean, because we have, we're on Snap, right? Did you put Snap in there? Okay, well, we're on Snap. So between Snap, Rude Awakening, Turnabout, blah, blah, blah. We should have enough untaps that even if we draw Miss Merry-Go-Round late game, it'll help us. So we have to make 3 cuts.
Yes, if we wanted to go down to 3 game changers, then it will
Oh,
have
yeah.
to be one of those.
That is true. So Cyclonic Rift, Demonic Tutor, Mystical Tutor. So I guess Mystical Tutor isn't necessarily necessary.
Sure. It's gone forever. How
Though
druid class do we actually want to be?
I we can be off Druid class. Honestly, we can probably be off. What's your face? Zoran Orb. I don't know how useful Zoran Orb's gonna be, especially now that we have we put more life gain in the deck after that. So
Okay. This has 1 land and doesn't do anything.
let's go.
This has 1 land and it cannot cast the 1 spell we have. I'm gonna try again. This has 1 land, but it is a Soul Ring hand with Tolarian Winds.
We just did, yeah. We were all in on Tolarian Winds, baby.
Sure. I'm gonna put this. No, I'm gonna put this on the bottom.
Sure.
Because
We can
we
reanimate.
can reanimate
Yeah.
Jadzi. Try this out just for fun. This
Sewer
seems
Nemesis?
really bad.
Nah, bro. We're not on that Sewer Nemesis life.
1 floating. We're gonna discard 5 and draw 5.
I know.
Lands.
Well, there we go. All the lands we need forever. And then Malevolent Rumble.
Yeah.
Get an Overgrown Tomb.
Come on. Okay. Do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. We probably pick up Emeritus of these.
Yeah.
Just gonna go to graveyard. We get a spawn.
So we can get a Watery Grave into Emeritus next turn. Or we can play our commander.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're colors short of doing both, but
Yeah. So at that point, I think the commander's stronger.
yeah. Do this. Go find a swamp for our Tainted Pack mana base. I'm not Tainted Pack.
Bubbling
The other
Luck.
one, Bubbling Muck. They're the same card, really. There's our commander. It only took a Soul Ring and discarding our entire starting hand.
Sewer Nemesis is 5 mana, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
Okay, let's do some things.
Does it mill you 1 card or 2? Sean.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is probably worth 6. Gonna exile these 6 cards. We're gonna lose 7 life. We're gonna keep track of that for
Reasons.
reasons.
It mills you 4 cards every time you cast the spell. Oh, mills 1. Oh, it's 4 mana and it mills 1. Yeah, I don't think that's good enough. Because otherwise we just play Jace's Erasure at 2 mana and that mills 1. But maybe, I don't know, if you have a problem with keeping cards in your graveyard, that's probably...
I think Turnabout's better than Rude Awakening most of the time. If we end up getting
Yeah,
the cards back,
I would agree.
we'll go get 4 lands and lose 4 life. Oh no, I should have.
Played Emeritus first.
We can't. We don't have double blue. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, this is why we're doing this way. Okay. 3. It's in our graveyard. Okay, that's right. We milled it. What else we got? Forest. I don't know that we have enough forests to support this card.
Yeah.
We only have like 4 in the whole deck. There's 3.
Overgrown.
No, it is 4.
Yeah.
This one, the Surveil Land, this one, and the Breeding Pool.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Skyshock Flame comes out.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's cut that card. It's not very good. And we're also only playing like 5 basics total, so I don't know if Cultivate is necessarily better. And they come in tapped.
Well, yeah, Cultivate puts them into play tapped. We could play Reap and Sow. Let's see.
There is a 3 mana card that searches for any land of the basic land type and puts it into play untapped. That's not like particularly great.
Yeah. And we're not. I mean, I don't think we should be on Michael's spawn
No, that card is probably not where we want to be either.
because we're not on, like, it'd be different if we were on Cabal Cooperative or something. Like,
Yeah,
that's
Urborg
specific.
is really the only. I guess we could actually be playing Avamaya as well just for fun, but I don't know that we necessarily need to. That being said, we could just add another land.
We could just add another land. That's not the worst.
It's definitely possible to go creature-based Teval Storm. We were talking earlier about going towards like what's the name of the card?
Not to the bone.
Not of the Bone.
Yep.
Which would be very powerful and that kind of a thing. There are a lot of interesting things that you can do with creature-based Storm.
Yeah. Oh, quick. So, off the top of my head, if you decided to go creature based, you would play cards that produce creatures. So think like Deranged Hermit, stuff like that. So that Tevel can like reduce the cost of. You would get like Cryptolith Right / Earthcraft if you have that card. It also allows you to mill more cards because you get to play Alter. Deranged Hermit is 3 green for a 1/1. When he enters the battlefield, you put 4 squirrels into play. And then he has like Echo or something that doesn't matter.
He does have Echo.
There's that one like is like randomly like 40 or $50. There's one from
Deep Forest Hermit from
yeah.
Modern Horizons.
that
That's the same thing. The other thing that you could do, I'm going to suggest this, and then Corbyn's going to laugh. You could play elves, because Knot of the Bone is a 3 mana sorcery with flashback for 3. It's a green and 2 on both halves, and you gain 2 life for each creature in your graveyard. It's kind of a staple of Innistrad Limited, which you probably have never played because it's old at this point.
this guy.
Yeah, but it is very good with specifically Lich. The reason why I
so much
suggested
life.
elves is because elves have a few interesting things, such as Well-Wisher that gain you life and allow you to do cool things with Lich, as well as Elvish Eulogist, which gives
Yeah,
you
that's
life
pretty
equal
good.
number of elves in your graveyard.
Yeah. I've
Which
said it.
is a thing you can do. And obviously elves are very good at ramping, and you can play Shamanic Revelations the same as any other creature storm deck, which also gains you life randomly. It's got that flavor text, people forget it, but it's in there.
Yeah. I think the biggest boon you get, and I've said it casually, but Altar of Dementia, the 2 mana mill spell, you can keep targeting yourself, you can make more creatures, you can keep doing the thing. I think you also get like Blood Artist, so you can be on Lich, even if you're not on Lich. Blood Artist effects help you offset the Tevel life loss, so you could loop like Grey Merchant and stuff like that. So that is not the worst option. I want to play Weather the Storm and Lich though, so that's what we're doing today.
Yeah, just because you've been playing for 30 years doesn't mean that you necessarily remember Innistrad Limited, though. Like, I was playing during Innistrad, and I remember, like, the Dark Ascension pre-release and things like that, but I did not exactly jam Innistrad Draft, so the only reason I know about Knot of the Bone is from, like, watching LSV play flashback Innistrad drafts and things like that. That's pretty cool. And Illicit Masquerade.
Yes, you would get Illicit Masquerade if you were doing creature-based sack synergies and blah blah blah. That is not wrong.
We could be on
You also get clones, so you can go like Gray Merchant, clone, which is also pretty funny.
Gilded Lotus.
Yes, I was gonna suggest that, but I was like, nah, we're already like up there in mana value.
We are up there in mana value, and it is really bad if we don't have our commander in play a lot of the time. But if we don't have our commander in play and we need to recast it, this is one way to get there. And also, if we need to convert cards in graveyard into colored mana, it does that.
It randomly just turns 5 cards in our graveyard into a Black Lotus, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, it is slightly analogous to Sky Shroud Claim in that it is an expensive card that ramps us. It's not an instant sorcery, which is a little too bad, but it's still fine, maybe? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, there's not a big spell like Brass's Bounty and blue-black, so I think this is fine.
I mean, there is. It's called Enter the Infinite.
So anyway,
this hand is questionable. We don't have any ways to put things in our graveyard. But we can cast our commander at some point. If we want to.
all it is, our problems are solved.
All of our problems solved forever. Why did I ever doubt? Okay. This will get a Surveil land, specifically Underground Mortuary, because it cannot get the other one.
Yep.
Low to the graveyard, where it's meant to be. Untap. Draw, we'll dredge 3. Send those straight to hell, and go get an island with this.
I do think we should play the Talisman here, though.
Sure, that's fine.
And then next turn we can do the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like we're rewarded with an additional fetch land. Let's go find Watery Grave. Yeah, that's probably okay. We're going to put...
hold on. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. We're going to put 3 lands into our hand.
Because we're degenerates.
And then we are going to simply get rid of all of them to draw 7 cards. And by draw 7 cards, I mean dredge 3 and then draw 6 cards. This is gaming right here. This is reminiscent of Extended back when Ravnica was new. Right here.
Yeah, so we were actually discussing Bolas's Citadel before we went on stream today. That is an alternate route you can go. Bolas's Citadel gives you kind of like a second Lich.
The problem is that if you look at the way that the commander is worded, it doesn't matter if you spent mana on the spells, which means that if you play like a Life from the Loam from your top of your deck with Bolas's Citadel and you have your commander in play, you're losing 4 life, which is twice as much life.
Yep.
And that only gets worse when you're playing Repaying Kind or whatever.
Yep.
As much fun as it is to pay 14 life to pay Repaying Kind, most of the time it's not going to work out that way.
Yeah.
Citadel would be a lot better if you were doing like Elf Ball stuff, I think, just because you are not going to have as many like large draw spells. You're going to be doing a lot more like Skull Clamping or whatever to get like play an elf, make mana, sack the elf, play another elf kind of a thing, like one at a time. And Citadel fits in neatly with that, and all those spells are 1 mana anyway, so losing additional life is not actually that bad. But I think in this version of the deck that is trying to do the things that we were trying to do, it is probably not a good idea.
Yeah, you'd have to retool the deck for sure. I think it is possible. I think it is fine. But you probably wouldn't be on repay in kind. You'd probably be more all in on. You wouldn't play Lich. I'd play Bolas' Citadel instead of Lich. Uh, and you would have to play multiple ways to sack your commander once you have the Bolas' Citadel out. But if you retool the deck to do all that stuff, yeah, I think it's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna exile 6 cards to play these 3 artifacts.
Uh,
And I'm going to tap Belwar Stone. And
well, because we're passing our turn from here anyway, right?
we are probably doing that, yes.
So I
I think
think
we still want to play Loam, though.
sure.
Just for fun, get more cards in our graveyard. If we had an additional black mana, we could have probably done something with this.
Well, you just need 1 black mana.
Well, to put a card on top, sure.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to draw it right away, you would need to.
Oh, sure, because you have the Mesmeric Orb. I didn't see the Mesmeric Orb. You're good.
Yeah, Mesmeric Orb, in conjunction with the fact that we're probably dredging Loam, means that we probably want to do it on our turn. If we have a way to draw a card, I guess we're probably not dredging Loam at that point. Our hand is full of lands.
That was true.
Okay. Well, anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. Can attack with Teval this turn because we just played it. But this is turn 4 and we dumped a bunch of shit into play, which is neat. Turn 5, we will mill 7 cards. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We might want more cards with like flashback or jumpstart.
Yeah.
Because this could happen. No, it's fine though because it's trust cards. We're gonna play triple black. And we are going to do this breed real hard. We've lost 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 life.
The issue with Tassiger is,
Is that he already has Delve and it costs 6 mana?
yeah, so he already has Delve, which is whatever. Your commander doesn't make his ability cheaper, so you're always just going to be trying to pay 4 mana to get a card back into your hand. And at that point, you might as well just play Regrowth.
I think at this point we get Windfall.
Yeah.
And then we'll put that on top and draw 2 and lose 2 more.
And then we can Crop Rot for Urborg before we Windfall.
On the bottom. There's one here too. I probably missed a fetcher too. I'll go down to here or something. Oh, I need it to be green. Idiot. Okay, so instead of that, shuffle. We'll play the basic forest, and then we're going to send the swamp away. Go for board.
Real good.
You know it.
Oh. Anyway.
Ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think we dredge.
No,
This
I wouldn't
one.
dredge.
Get rid of Animate Dead. Get rid of.
If we were gonna dredge, we should have dredged on the second draw of the
Yeah.
dude.
Which probably would have been relevant, but
Yeah.
it kind of. The point at this point, you don't really know how many Windfall's going to draw if you don't have no opponents. We're going to assume it draws
5.
though.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool card. That works pretty well with it, I suppose. I believe we're going for speed. No, we're going for Limbo's Vault. What are we looking for? Turnabout?
Horn of Greed would be better if here. One, two. Yeah, I would say turnabout lands, play Malevolent Rumble and pray.
I mean, we're stacking our deck right now. This is
Oh, Limdal's Vault. Got it,
Limdal's
got it,
Vault.
got it, got it. Okay.
So, well, I guess we can't grab Turnabout with Malevolent Rumble, can we? We could grab Jadzi. I don't know that that's good. We need something that draws us cards, though.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that is per se. And it has to be a permanent as well.
Yeah, permanent has to draw us cards.
Do we have triple black? We don't have triple black. We could have triple black. Next turn.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good
Or
enough.
we oh wait, no, it has to be permanent. Yeah, never mind.
Oh, that's all the cards in our deck.
Yeah. Maybe
Uh,
that's an oversight, but having something to come in and
I guess it could just be Jadzi. And just hope that we draw something next turn.
maybe it's so either Malevolent Rumble needs to be just straight up regrowth or
Kurgal's already in our deck.
oh, never mind then.
So, okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Horn agreed. We are not playing the exploration effects needed to break parity on Horn agreed.
Yeah,
So
we're
at this
playing
point in
one.
time, we would just be drawing one card a turn like everybody else, and that's not cool.
We are playing like literal exploration, but that's the only one.
Yeah, like if we were stacking, if we had like Azusa stuff like that. Yeah, I'm back now. So you trailed off.
Yeah, he was lost in thought, thinking about all the people he's killed. I mean, all the.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Horn of Greed is a cool card if you're playing a landfall deck. This is not a landfall deck. It does have a little bit of extra land stuff, but not enough to really justify it. Especially since you need to actually play the land. Nature's Lore doesn't work with it. I was thinking about building a Temur lands deck. We could do that next time with well, we'll figure it out. We'll talk about it after this. So this stuff. Here we are. We said something about flashback and or possibly jumpstart.
Deep anal. This.
Deep analysis is a card we could play. It will cost us 7 life on the backside,
Yeah.
which is kind of a lot for 2 cards.
Wait, will it? No.
You pay 3 life.
Yeah, but it still is 2-drop.
It's a 4-drop.
Is it? Oh no, it's 2 to flash it back. Yeah, we're good. No, we're good. I'm back.
Okay. The what's the name of it?
Think twice.
No.
You can play the Weeb one.
We should play Think no. What's the Jumpstart one?
Quick
Let's
something.
find out.
The hottest ploy is
Haven't seen
actually
this
pretty dope. Oh no, it's not. Never mind. Ignore me.
Yeah, we're not discarding that many
Yeah,
cards.
sorry.
It does gain life, which is nice, but
Yeah, but it doesn't
do anything.
it doesn't draw it doesn't gain you that much life
Yeah.
in this current configuration. So Surveil 2, then draw a card, you make Planeswalk.
Planeswalking
Nice.
doesn't matter, but Surveil
Thanks.
2 and draw a card is actually pretty neat.
Yeah, maybe we should look at some Surveil stuff. That is besides the lands. That is another thing. What are you guys looking for?
Right now, we just played a game where we milled ourselves like a whole bunch and drew a bunch of cards and didn't do anything. So, in order to make our milling more effective, we need cards that we can actually play from our graveyard that do literally anything.
Yeah.
Right now, that means looking at flashback and jumpstart, and I don't think there's a way to cast a creature from the graveyard, like embalm and escape and all that.
Cast.
Well, escape does.
Escape is casting.
Escape is casting. We could
So we
play
can look at
Uro or something, but
Uro
like
gains life.
Uro does gain life. The problem with escape in general, though, is that it costs cards in your graveyard already. But the point is things like Unearth and
Yeah.
other one.
Retrace.
Retrace works too. Things like Unearth don't work because they're activated abilities, is the sentence I was trying to form. We'll probably add the Retrace draw card. That seems pretty good with Loam, just in general. And it being 3 mana is less bad when, you know, Delve and things. I don't know if there's anything in particular you're looking for with Surveil in it, but I don't know that it solves any of our problems if we do.
No, just like
Consider.
yeah. Like that's what I was looking for, like those type of effects. And it looks like it's just consider and curate, but like I'm not on that life, so alright.
I mean, there's a lot of cards with Surveil at this point, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think that we're looking
But retrace seems real good.
Retrace, and I'll look at Flashback as well. Flashback also helps with the fact that it generally costs more mana on the Flashback, which means that we'll be able to get it for cheaper. Siphon Life?
No, 6.
Oh. 6 is only permanence as well, but maybe that's fine.
It's worth trying. Like it also mills us 3 when he squabbles.
Yeah, we'll see. Look at Flashback.
The clone spell is pretty funny with specifically Grey Merchant, but that's it.
Yeah.
Tackling Counterpart, which is also funny with Grey Merchant. The deepest of anals.
Echo Vians is 6 mana on the Flashback, but and it shuffles our graveyard in. I don't think we want that. Never mind.
Yeah.
Forbidden Alchemy, though.
Forbidden Alchemy's not bad.
Forbidden Alchemy's pretty good. Flash of Insight is a lot of life. Never mind.
Yeah.
Because the X still goes to the cost on the thing.
Increasing Ambition.
I've heard of worse ideas.
Yeah.
That's probably worth doing, honestly. It's probably better than Beseech the Mirror because I don't think that Beseech has enough things to sacrifice. I don't know that we got there on that. It's triple black. We could play Lear.
We could play Lear. Lear is not actually bad. Underrealm Lich is not bad, actually. The best part about Underrealm Lich is when it allows us to go through our entire deck with Lich and not die to decking ourselves. Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I don't. Okay.
We'll look at our instance and we'll see if it's worthwhile, but
I mean, Talarian Winds is an instant.
that is true.
Revenge of the Rats with our 3 creatures.
Scour all possibilities is fine.
Sever the Bloodline.
I guess Scour's...
Yeah, Scour's fine.
We might cut it. We'll see. Think twice is good enough. I don't know that Scour is good enough, but think twice is...
So you still have to be able to cast the spell off the top of your library. So you would have to place either Future Sight Effect or like Bolas' Citadel. Specifically, Bolas' Citadel forces us to lose double life on all the spells that we cast off the Bolas Citadel off the top of our library. So we could play a different future side effect, which is not the worst. Um,
So if we're going for top combo, we could go for top combo because Aether Flux gains life much faster than you were losing it even with top Citadel, but Citadel's not good in the deck, and I would say that top is probably not very good in the deck. Aether Flux is uniquely qualified for this deck because we need ways to keep ourselves alive and draw cards with Lich. So it kind of
does both, yeah.
makes sense there. Whereas the other two, I would feel mostly upset to draw them.
Yeah. So there is a version of this deck you can play where you lean more into that. I would recommend not playing Bolas Citadel though if you want to go for top combo. Play like actual future sight, in which case you would also retool your lands to be able to better support a triple blue spell. Um, there's like
Yeah, there's
reality chip or something
yeah,
too.
there's a few ways you could do it, and obviously if you're doing it with actual mana, you'll need a way to cost reduce or play Glaring Fleshraker. Which,
Yeah.
if you're going for creature combos, for instance, Glaring Fleshraker makes a lot of dorks.
Yep.
But these are all decks that are very much not Tevel.
Yeah, you. So there is. So we talked about creature storm, quote unquote, with this guy. You can also do a an artifact thing. The interesting thing about him, his delve thing, is that he basically just makes all your artifacts free as long as you can mill, which is not bad at all.
Yeah, you can actually a really cool thing that you can do with him. There is a combo deck in Legacy called the Riddler, which plays Mirror Riddlesmith.
Yeah, yeah.
Which makes it so that whenever you cost your zero drop artifacts or whatever you draw and discard, and the card that you discard normally is Old Jace Daredevil, because then when your artifact enters, you get him back. With Tevel, you can kind of do the same thing, except that instead of getting back Old Chase Daredevil, the card that you get rid of is just mana. Like, you draw a card, you discard a card, that card fuels your next artifact's cost, basically.
Yep.
We're not really doing that, but it could be cool, and I don't know that it's necessarily better than just like Mendicant or something that cares about artifacts.
Yeah. I mean, it also gives you so instead of playing Archmage Emeritus, you'd play Vidalcan Archmage, so you can draw cards off your artifacts. Um, you would probably play a way to sack your artifacts like Krark-Clan Ironworks or something else, so that once you get the value from them, you can put them in the bin, which then would further fuel you getting more artifacts. Like you already mentioned, Mystic Forge Watts, so that is something you can do as well.
Okay, we need to cut 8 cards.
8 cards.
8
Blah! I guess we need to sort by mana value. Oh, and look at what we're doing up top. So the life swap thing is probably too cute.
It is very bad if you're not specifically already have your commander in play and a low life total. It's really cool though. It's really good with Lich because you gain all that life and then you draw that many cards.
You draw that many cards and straight up kill that person. Yeah.
It is a very funny combo.
But we're already doing that with Repaying Kind, so
Yeah.
I don't think you play both. You pick one or the other.
Yeah.
Jazri, Villas, maybe we get rid of the reanimate package. No, that sounds wrong.
We could get rid of one of the reanimates if we wanted to. We don't really have a good way to
Like
recur
get
them.
it back. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we never actually put Entomb in the deck, so maybe we just get rid of the reanimates as well.
Yeah.
Because Villas we can just cast if we draw it, if we have the things to do that.
Yeah. Same thing with Jazzy. And Jazzy also,
Jadzi is very good though.
yeah. No, I mean, I'm not saying
Oh
cut
yeah,
it.
cast. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You're casting the backside because, like, how many of those hands, especially when we were loaming, just had a bunch of lands in it, and then we could cast the backside and then put it back into our hand, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. Where's Animate Dead? Here it is. They're alphabetical, as it turns out. Maybe Scour of Possibilities. We probably don't need.
Yeah, that's probably too cute.
4 more cards. How? So Orcish Bowmasters is a very good card, and we should probably have it, I guess. Do we need that and Dark Blast?
Oh, yeah, I'd probably cut that. Dark Blast. Loam is probably fine.
I don't
But we
know.
also have Quackfish and
Yeah.
Control.
We could cut.
Did we cut the Tutor mirror?
Yeah,
we did. Okay.
I did do that.
Okay.
We could go down Chain of Smog and Witherbloom, because Witherbloom is really only good if we have specifically Lich in play, and Chain of Smog is only good with Witherbloom and.
Yeah, let's cut that.
Okay.
Because we already have like 3 backup plans. I don't think we need a 4th. So, I mean, the 4th could just be slap people up with our dragon.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, he's just 6 lifelink. That seems pretty good.
1 card.
One more card.
What was? Yeah, probably 6.
It does let us cast Lich from the graveyard, but we have to get 6 into play first.
Yeah.
So.
Let's relook at our lands real quick. Can you go back up? No, the breakdown. Thanks. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's probably fine. Probably need to play more multicolor lands.
Yeah, we could cut all the profane for one of the Burges.
Yeah. Probably the blue black
Yeah.
Verge.
Oh, I thought that Gloom was going to be enough.
There's not that many gloom cards.
Actually, is that better than the Battlebond land?
It's
Oh,
probably the same-ish. Like, we've got a lot of swamps.
Yeah, but the Battlebond land is probably still just
Sure.
better most of the time. And I will think of the name of it at some point as well.
Yeah, I'm lost.
I think it's BBD.
Morphic
Morphic
Pool.
Pool. Sweet.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. We have a way to discard our hand and something to do once we do that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Start the TARDIS. Yeah, that's probably better.
Then just losing our life right away.
Yeah, let's go find what's the name of the surveil land?
The
Blue, black.
green one? Blue black, Undercity.
City Sewers. There we are. Undercity Sewers, do us a surveil. We
Keep
the
that?
talisman, I
Yeah.
suppose. Next turn, let's shock this in for fun. Play
Oh,
this thing.
jeez.
Next turn, we spent 3 life already. At this point, I believe we fetch for. Do we just get Watery Grave or do we get Breeding? Well, we probably get Watery Grave
Yeah.
because we already have green and we want swamp.
Yeah.
1 We're going to Malevolent Rumble. 2, 3, 4. Well,
Yes,
we
it's
have
the only
exactly
permanent.
one choice. So we'll take that.
Get a spawn.
Get a spawn. We can now either cast this one or this one. Or this one, I guess.
Think it's
Forbidden Alchemy, actually, probably.
yeah, probably. It's the better use of our mana.
Well, we don't necessarily get to 5 mana next turn is the thing.
Yeah.
I guess Forbidden Alchemy makes it more likely we do so.
mean,
I think
top
it's
four.
probably Start the TARDIS, actually.
Okay.
Because it looks at one less card if we surveil both of them to the graveyard.
But Mesmeric Orb would get us 4 cards in the graveyard.
It does, but it doesn't get us a
doesn't
card
do-
back.
yeah. It doesn't get us a card back, but it's
And we can cast this for free if we have our commander in play.
Oh yeah, I suppose. Because
I'm
there's no
going to
guarantee that we're gonna win the turn we play our commander.
Start the TARDIS to surveil 2. Both of those can go to the graveyard because one of them is Loam. And we'll draw this card. Yeah.
Gross.
Okay.
So, I was gonna say, I guess maybe we should be on that loam life then, if that's the case.
Oh,
Like dredge 3,
would we
get the
dredge 3
loam
here?
back.
We'd probably dredge 3 here. 1, 2, 3. No, Swarm Intelligence. Fine, we'll survive. Get the loam back. Send these.
Shadow Realm.
Shadow Realm.
Play the loam and then play the backside of you'd have to tap differently because I believe the backside is double green.
It is double green. I didn't realize we were playing the backside. I suppose.
I mean, we don't have to.
No,
but
it makes sense to. I think I just didn't think of it. This goes no, we can't do it with that one. This one
breeding pool.
Breeding pool, take some more damage. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. We haven't even cast our commander yet, and we've still gotten millions of damage.
This is the best part of the deck.
Any number of land cards from hand on the battlefield, and if you control 8 or more lands, you may discard a card if you do return it. Do we actually want to do that?
No,
Okay.
my bad. So
Okay.
we get a spawn
We get a
back.
spawn back.
We could. Right. So yeah, a couple options. We could Chemist's Insight at the end of like somebody's turn.
Yeah, we do have to discard a card this turn, but I don't know, like, if we're not going to be doing that shit, I don't know that we do
Yeah,
Dredge the Loam.
that's true.
But
Well,
we already did it, so
yeah, I think it's better to hit the land drop anyway.
that's probably true. The reason to not hit the land drop, I guess, is that we can play Reflex Reservoir into Mesmeric Orb at that point. Because we had 5 mana, but it does have problems if anyone interacts with what we're doing.
Yeah. I think probably so. Yeah, I think doing what we did is fine, and then we can either Chemist's Insight. Yeah, at the end of somebody's turn, dredge 3 and then draw a card to get the
Sure,
loan back.
yeah, okay. We'll dredge these 3. 1, 2, 3. The loan back.
Because I think what we have here, like, I'm pretty sure we are supposed to lean into the Jadzi engine until the opponents deal with it, and then we can pivot and do something else, or they don't deal with it,
Sure.
and then we just like, Tolarian wins into stuff, sucker.
Yeah. The issue with Jadzi right now is that since it costs 2 mana and our commander costs 5, we can't really do it until turn 6 if we want to. Well,
Yeah.
basically at all.
So we do other things while going to this end game.
Sure.
So like we can cast our commander here and then hold up Forbidden Alchemy, or we can rift
Yeah.
with our
That
commander
all
out
seems
here, stuff
reasonable.
like that. And then we just continue to like loam until we get to 8 mana or enough lands in play to play the backside. Or because like next turn we can just play Jazzy, right? Like
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I don't think that's fine.
Tap 2,
Pretty fun.
play Jadzi. Whenever you cast a copy of an instant sorcery spell, reveal some stuff. Cast that. I guess we have to lose 8 life, 11 life.
That's
Or
fine.
we would probably, before we cast Jadzi, cast the Aether Flux.
Yeah,
Yes. Cast Aether Flux, cast Mesmeric
ditch
Orb,
some things.
get rid of 6 cards, and then 6 more down to 3, which is like
Loam and
loam and a couple of lands.
yeah, probably.
Well, maybe Chemist's Insight is better than one of the
Yeah,
lands.
we would probably that I agree.
We'll just keep Delta because it's the best one. Okay. So we've got this going on. I guess maybe we don't bother with this yet
No.
because we would rather cast the Chemist's Insight. I mean, the Forbidden Alchemy. Oh, I just moved them all straight back into the graveyard. Good job. I'm gonna move these all to exile and then take the ones that we care about back.
But yeah, for sure. This deck has a bunch of possibilities.
A storm, one might even say.
Yes, a
Possibilities.
storm of possibilities. So many storm decks from this one commander. What are we doing?
Okay, so we do that. We do this. 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. We gain 2 from Jadzi, and then we pay 3 and gain 3.
Yeah,
So we're
so
even on life
we're
at
we're
this point.
flat. Trigger Jadsd first.
Yeah.
So-
Reveal the top card of your library. If it's a non-land card, you may cast it. If it's a land, you put it on the battlefield.
So we can probably get rid of a land here to just get a free land, like from the graveyard, like get rid of the polluted delta, and then that just gets put into play. Or you can pay a mana
What?
into it. Because you have to pay 1.
Yeah, but it's a land, so it just comes into play.
Oh, got it. Yeah. You're right. Ignore me.
Yeah, unfortunately tapped because we put these tap lands in our deck, but
I mean, we can take them out, but
One,
honestly, Fetid Pool
2,
can probably
3,
be the
4.
whatever the Dustmorn land you were talking about before.
Yeah, the Verge, probably. I
Yeah.
think we would rather have Increasing Ambition than Snap, but I don't know if that's true.
I
I guess we need.
so increasing
Man,
ambition we could get from the we can cast from the graveyard.
Can, but we can only do it twice if we do it from hand. And the reason why I would want to get this one specifically is to get greater amounts of mana, I suppose, or possibly Lich.
Yeah.
Probably greater amounts of mana. Let's assume we take Snap for the minute. We cast Snap, we lose 2, we gain 4. I should be keeping track of Storm. Trigger Jadzi.
Yep.
We gotta exile one of these cards.
Yep.
We'll reveal Professor Onyx. I think we pay 1 for that.
Yeah.
Doink.
Lose 6, gain.
5.
Yeah.
So we'll go down 1. Snap resolves. We'll untap 2 of these lands.
So we have from here you had a couple options. You can plus Professor Onyx in order to put
That's
a card.
probably worth doing, yeah.
So I would do that first.
Okay, so we lose a life and look at the top 3. I believe
Dark Petition.
Dark Petition's a
probably.
good one
Yeah.
here. Pitch these 2. We will pay 2 black mana and 3 cards from our graveyard to Dark Petition.
And
Get
gain
rid
2
of
life.
probably these 2. Because we don't have a way to get... I mean, we got one way to get cards back, but...
Well, we gotta get rid of 1 more.
Oh, we do need to get rid of 1 more. You're right.
I mean, we can get rid of Tendrils because we're on Onyx, so...
Yeah.
So we
do
actually
that.
gain 4 life and everybody loses 2.
Yep.
And then trigger Jadzi.
Trigger Jadzi.
Storm count goes up by 1. Yeah, I guess we
Another one. 6 for this. We
Yeah.
could cast it by exiling a card from our graveyard, so we will. I guess at this point, Loam
doesn't matter anymore.
probably doesn't. Well, no. I guess we're more likely to put Loam when we do
Oh,
this.
Tolarian ones, yeah.
Anything else? Blue Delta?
Sure.
Sure, because we're not actually going to be casting Loam. Put Exploration into play. We will go get Lich.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're casting it, but we can go. Oh, because we make triple black
Yeah.
from the
Yep.
spell. Okay. We're going to cast Lich. We're going to gain some number of life, lose some number of life. Doesn't matter anymore. We're at 0.
Yep.
I'm going to stop keeping track of that.
Storm counts 8, which matters because we're
8.
gonna deck ourselves.
You know what? I'm going to
You
put
do
this
have
onto
to
the
tap
stack.
that, or unless you tapped a different land. You have to tap
Yeah,
one
tap
mana
this one.
for. Okay, sounds good.
We're going to cast Mesmericorb and gain 9 life, which is actually 9 cards.
Yep.
Suddenly, we can do stuff.
Scourge Familiar.
Scourge Familiar seems optimal here, yes. We are going to run out of colored mana that is not black in a second, but we do have an additional land drop,
Yeah.
thanks to the exploration. We're going to have to make that one count, though. Cast Scourge Familiar, exiling
Everything except for the increasing ambition, probably.
probably... No, we were supposed to dredge earlier.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh well. Well, we're not
that's
doing that
fine.
now.
Yeah, we're thinking.
I guess. We'll do that. We will draw 10 cards. Discard. Oh yeah, we could have. No, we couldn't because this was literally on the stack. Discard 2 of these. Cast Gray Merchant.
Oh, is there a great? Yeah, we can cast Gray Merchant. We can cast the Talisman and draw some more cards. Weather the Storm decks us from here, I think.
Probably. So we're
But
probably
else?
not on that.
Depending on. Well, Lich is a replacement effect, so that won't.
Yeah. Honestly, we can just discard like 7 cards and go increasing ambition for repay.
Oh, Repay Guide, yeah,
Just
and
win
then
the game.
win. Yeah, we did it. We did it.
Yeah. That was a struggle, but Storm usually is.
Well,
We
because you
could
get lost in the sauce.
we could keep doing that a bunch more times
Yeah.
and like iron out all the kinks and make sure that the deck functions more frequently, but I don't want to be here all night, and I'm sure that none of you do either.
All 3 of you.
All 3 of you. So we're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
I think that this is something resembling a reasonable deck.
Yep.
I have made it public on the channel if you want to look at that at some point. Estimated bracket 3, that's what we're looking for. This is an fine deck. I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems okay.
Maybe I'll play it on the channel. We'll see. I do know a couple of you have been wanting to have more synergy between the deck techs that we do here and the gameplay channel so you can see how the deck performs. We have been listening to that. Like the last games we put up with the Rakdos deck is what we built on the channel, minus some tweaks because I had to make it.
Bracket 3.
That's like go home.
Probably is home.
So go to sleep then. But anyway, yeah. So continue to give us feedback. We can't do any of this stuff without you guys anyway. So
Well,
we would like to make.
I mean,
we can,
there's
but
no point.
yeah, that. There's no point in us doing this if you don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So give us more suggestions on what you guys enjoy, what you want to see, so that we can try to make that a reality for you guys.
Yeah, and I have a stupid idea or two for next time, so yeah, that works too. Yeah.
Just the frozen peas talking about rats.
If you like what we did here, like, comment, subscribe, all those things that Corbyn just said. Follow us on Patreon if you want to. We'll be back next week, perhaps. Someone will be back. I will be here. Someone will join me, possibly Corbyn, if he's free. And if not, someone else. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, look forward to more Dragonstorm stuff on the channel in the future.
Oh yeah, this is my set. Dragonstorm, like, wow.
Yeah, the fact that we didn't actually build a Dragonstorm deck yet is probably something that will be rectified in the near future.
Yeah.
If Corbyn doesn't build it for the... Well, even if he does. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
Someone...
see.
You'll see the card Dragonstorm at some point.
Oh yeah, I guarantee it.
Anyway, thanks for hanging out. And we will see you next time.
Peace.